Hey, you guys, welcome back to Storytime from my bedroom. You guys thought I forgot about you. No, I did not forget about you. We are here today. Hip, hip, hooray, with another story time. You guys, so I go ahead before we get started. You know the routine. Say it with me. Click the bell for notifications. Subscribe to the channel because it is dirt cheap. Guess what the price is every month? $0. Go ahead and click, you guys. And also click the bell for notifications, share the video with someone, and engage with me down in the comments. You guys, I do apologize that I didn't post this video earlier today. It's probably about noon here in the Midwest area, Eastern Standard Time. Y'all, somebody done took my package. Honey, I done ordered me some clothes because you know I'm going to Jamaica next month. And so I ordered me some clothes. The clothes wasn't supposed to be delivered until today. And come to find out, they delivered it yesterday. They put it out on the front porch, and I don't know where my clothes are. So I had a whole fiasco this morning. I had to go through the process of getting a refund for some of the clothes and getting stuff reshipped out to me for what they did have. Some things they were out of stock, they're going to give me my money back for. And what they do have in stock, they're going to reship it out to me. So, moving forward. So here we are. Anywho, you guys, we're going to tell you this story here. Also, you guys, be careful with your packages. Y'all know it's this time of the year. People broke, people funny, and some folks just like to steal. Get your packages sent to a secure place, Walgreens, CVS, Amazon lockers, or something. Or just hold it at the station and go pick it up. Because you don't want to have that frustration with missing packages, and it's around the holiday time. Ain't nobody trying to keep paying for stuff that somebody else is wearing. Now, let me tell you what I am going to do. I better not see nobody in this building with my clothes on, because I'm going to drag you. All in the name of the Lord. You guys, go ahead. We're going to start this story today. This is called Dancing with the Rats. This is a ooh to my daughter, Brittany. That is my oldest daughter. Brittany is a makeup artist. She graduated from University of Cincinnati with a bachelor's degree in Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice. But she's a makeup artist because that was her passion. So, you guys, we used to live up in Price Hill. So Price Hill, you don't know what Price Hill is. We just lived in Price Hill. And we lived on this super small street the street was so weird. There were only, really, if you were coming down the main street, you turned like down a driveway. And on that driveway, it was an actual street, but it looked like a driveway. There were about 5 houses. So we were about the 4th house down from the top. You guys, first of all, let me tell you what was going on in Price Hill. They're fixing up Price Hill now. Price Hill was not fixed up at that time. So they're kind of doing gentrification in Price Hill. But before, Price Hill was just, honey, country land. Country land. So the guy next to us had a house. But he didn't just have a house, y'all. He had a house. He had chickens that was walking around. I've never seen chickens in a city before. Only time I seen chicken is at the farm where they got the little petting zoos and stuff. He had chickens. He had one loud rooster. Let me pause there. I don't know if you ever heard a real rooster. Let me know if some of you people from the country and y'all done heard a real rooster. Now, I've seen roosters on the cartoons, on TV. I even see Proud Rooster. That's a chicken place that's here in Cincinnati. But I've never heard a real rooster. Baby, a real rooster has like a small microphone in his throat. Because that rooster, and it didn't do it every day? I don't remember hearing that rooster every day. I think that rooster honored the Sabbath on a Saturday, because on Sunday mornings, that rooster would crow. I knew what time it was to get up for church by the sound of that rooster. That little rooster was so loud. He was, I said, you know, what the hell in Jesus is this? It's a Sunday morning. I'm trying to sleep a little bit in. I done heard noise all through the week because I got the chickens out there making noises and carrying on. And this big mouth rooster, and I swear it sounded like he was right at our window. This rooster was so loud. So loud. Don't live by no roosters. He had chickens. He had roosters. He had ducks. I'm not talking about them big brown geese things that you see in these little gated communities that everybody think is so nice, but they get on your nerves and you be ready to run them little brown geese over with a car. I'm talking about the real cute, the Aflac duck. It was Aflac ducks walking up and down, and he must have had them trained because they knew not to go off the street, and then they would come back. He had about 3 dogs, and this was another pet that he had. I ain't gonna say what color these people was. He had 2 raccoons. Child. 2 baby raccoons. He got the 2 baby raccoons out of the roof of his house because it was in between. We had raccoons in between our ceiling as well, and we would hear them running around. Well, he put a trap up there to get his, and he decided instead of taking the trap and taking wherever you're supposed to take a raccoon to, I don't know if you're supposed to shoot it, I don't know what you're supposed to do, but he kept those raccoons as a pet. So these are all the animals up there. This man deer hunted. We would come outside. I never forget coming outside one time. It was probably about 8, 9 o'clock at night, but it was around the fall time, so it was dark. All I saw, y'all, was this big metal thing like this, all the way up in the air, down to the ground, and a whole deer cut open like this. Honey, looked like the letter X. I said, what the hell is Jesus going on? They killing people around this piece. Baby, let me say something. I eat splits of meat, honey. I eat a hog, mug, potato, tomatoes. I eat pigs, cows, fish, but I ain't never seen none of them skinned. Honey, this man had a whole entire deer that looked like the letter X just hanging up, and he had a spotlight hitting it. I said, what is going on around here? Child, so with all of that being said, they had turtles down in the little creek. My kids used to go down there, and the little boy next door that dad had all them animals, go down there and they would find huge box turtles and stuff like that. So we lived by this little bitty creek that was down this little ravine thing. It was trees everywhere. So guess what? With all of that being said, guess what's going to be in the house after a while? Little bitty field mice. Y'all, let me tell you something first about my daughter, Pooh. Pooh is petrified of mice. She's petrified. So I should say dancing with the mice because they wasn't rats. Rats is the big ones. They were like little mice, field mice, maybe teenagers, I don't know, mid-size or whatever. She's petrified of them. She'll mess with them. She don't play with them. Some stuff, some people just don't mess with. They don't play with. They don't want to look at no pictures of no rats. They don't want to see no videos of no rats. They just don't fool with that type of animal. So we end up, they must have chewed through the wall. Eventually they chewed through the little wall from outside or whatever it was. All I know was they got in the daggone house. So Pooh coming down the steps, y'all, one day. So once I saw him, I started putting out, the little sticky trap baits, and then I would put out like little pellets and stuff like that, notified the landlord. The landlord said that he would have somebody come out and put like those big black boxes around the house because he was like, they're field mice. They just get in after a while. So I guess before we moved there, he must have patched up some areas thinking they weren't going to get in, but eventually they end up getting in. So child, one day, Pooh come down the steps and it was a flat wreck. It was a flat wreck on the steps. So the only way I can think that the rat was flat, because he wasn't there the day before, he wasn't there in the evening, I'm thinking during the night, like my husband used to work like at 5 something in the morning, and he wore boots to work. So the only thing I can think was like this mouse was upstairs at some point, or he got hold of some of that stuff and he was trying to go up the steps and just collapsed, honey. Gave up the ghost. God bless his soul on the steps. And so our bedroom was downstairs, and then upstairs at the very top of the steps was the bathroom. So the only thing I could think of was my husband went up there and he stepped on that dead rat not knowing it, went to the bathroom, do what he needed to do, came back out and came downstairs. Honey, all I know is Pooh coming down the steps. Now you're walking down the steps and she got right there, her toe almost touched that flat rat. Honey, Pooh fell back up the steps hollering and screaming. And I'm like, what is going on? Who is getting murdered? Where's all this mayhem at? I look, she hollered, it's a rat. It's a rat on the step. And I'm like, a rat on the step? I'm thinking it's a lie, because I ain't about to help you, sis. You on your own. He about to just scurry on somewhere, because I don't really fool with rats, but I ain't petrified like she is a rat. So I go up. I was like, what rat? She was like, it's dead on the steps. I go up there. The rat just sitting there. He flat as hell. And I know my husband stepped on him with some boots, because he looked like he had the Timberland ridges in his backside. Or did he probably ain't had no Timberlands, because he wasn't into stuff. We probably had some lugs. Remember them boots called lugs? I think it was Lugz, lugs. He had like the little square things. I said, this man must have just smashed. He need to lose some weight to put this foot pressure in his rat to this degree. So I got the daggone little rat up off the steps, or mice, or whatever you want to call it. Got it on up off to put it in, you know what we put it in? A Kroger bag. A good old Kroger bag is good for everything, honey. So we scooped it on up, took it out, had my son take it on outside, put it in the dumpster. Child, so later on that day, y'all, I said, Pooh, it's your turn to do the dishes. So Pooh had to go do the dishes. She didn't want to go in the kitchen because it just is what it is. You didn't know where them things was going to pop up. They would be up the steps. They would be in the living room. It wasn't a whole lot of them, but it was enough of them for you to kind of check the flow before you hopped up out the bed or walked in somewhere. If you turned the light on in the kitchen, you kind of, did this. Tapped on the side of the stove or something and see if something to run around before you went in there. So Pooh ended up going in the kitchen. Pooh cleaned the kitchen up or whatever. She going over there to wipe the stove off. I hear, now mind you, my children were pleasantly plump. Well, 2 of them were. The girls were pleasantly plump. They liked the candy. They liked the snack. They got their eating habits from me. So they were some little chunky girls. I don't know how old Pooh was, honey. But all I heard was her screaming, hey, 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 hey. I said, what is wrong? I come run in the kitchen. Look, Pooh doing this. If you want to run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. Baby, she Mexican dancing. I said, all you needed was the music. Pooh hopping. And I said, Pooh, just move. I can't. Look, y'all, she hopping, dancing, and the mouse is trying to get around her. So it really looked like the mouse was dancing with her. So she hopping and he jumping with her because he's trying to get she in his way, he in her way. They tangoing her. I stood there and laughed. I couldn't help it. She said, Mommy, help me. Why you calling me? Why you don't call your daddy? I ain't no single parent at this point. That's your daddy. He can get that mouse. So he finally come there with a broom and just swung at the mouse, pushed Pooh literally out the way because we kept telling her, basically, run, Effa. Quit standing there. Ballroom dancing and river dancing with this daggone rat. I promise you, my hand to the Lord, Pooh hopped about 10 times, and that thing was hopping, but this was I almost saw the color. All of them, what do you call it? Melanin. Is it melanin or melalina? The melanin, the brown stuff. My child was about to be whitewashed. She would have looked like an albino, because while she was doing all that hopping, it hopped on her foot, and by that time, she had lost it. I said, oh my God, my daughter heart about to give out right in front of me. And I'm laughing about it. And that's when my husband came in and hit it. He swung at it, pushed Pooh out the way so they can quit dancing, and basically tearing up my kitchen. Baby, what I tell you, I ain't worth a dime, man. I swear, I would laugh at you before I even ask if you all right. Please don't fall in front of me, because I'm going to be the one to laugh at you and then ask you if you all right later on. And then you're going to get an attitude with me because I'm laughing at you, but I'm really concerned. But the scene, honey, was just chaos. She was hopping and screaming, and that thing was hopping with her. Girl, move out his way and let this Negro go down in his basement. At this point, we don't care. So we pushed Pooh out the way. The thing ran. Chad, I don't know where it ran. He was whoa out. She had warm out. He ran. Thank God we got Pooh out the kitchen. She finally calmed down. Got her to calm down. Stove didn't get wiped off that night. You know why? Because I wasn't going in there. And I knew I wasn't going to torture and send her back up in there to go clean nothing out. That stove was just dirty that day, y'all. But eventually, the landlord, he was pretty good. He sent the people out and they put the boxes around. And for the most part, whatever little hole, I think it was a hole behind our couch. Like right on the baseboard, there was a hole that they had chewed in. So to block that off, what I did was I put like do you guys remember like when you would have like back in the day, like your grandparents probably had it, but it was a picture cube. It was a square cube like this, and you can open it up and put like Polaroid pictures in there. And I took one of those small picture cubes and I put it at the hole and I pushed my couch back to wedge it there. And then I told the kids, do not move this, do not move this out the way, because if you do, there's a likelihood that they're going to get back in here or what have you. If I ever had to sweep under the couch or something, I moved it, swept, put the thing back, and that was the end of it. But eventually, all the mice were gone. All the field mice was gone. But honey, Pooh, she don't play with no mice to this day, baby. She don't play with no mice till this day. You guys, that is story time for my bedroom. Dancing with the rats, baby. Dancing with the mice, rats, whatever. Dancing with the creatures, baby. That is my story on today, you guys. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give the video a thumbs up. Follow the station and share the video with somebody, you guys. I will see you later on this week because it is Tuesday. We'll be back once again. Have a great Tuesday. Peace.